Hi and welcome to my channel if you're new, and welcome back if you have visited before. My name is Angela. I am an herbalist, a small business owner, and I enjoy doing lots of different types of crafts. And today I wanted to share my finished project and some other projects that I'm still working on, and my future plans for the fall/winter projects. So yeah, thank you for being here, and let's start. So my finished project is this shawl. I have used a yarn that I had left over from when I used to live in Italy. At this time I live in Colorado, and I used a book. It's called Shawls for All, and this book helps you to make your own shawl. So you start with picking the shape that you want your shawl to be, half, circle, triangle, rectangle, whatever, and then you'll pick the pattern and you pick the border. I didn't do any special border on mine. I did triangle shawl, very simple. The only thing that I did for the bottom border is a couple of rows of garter stitch so that it matches with the top. And this is about 75 grams of fingering weight yarn, and I used knitting needles 3.75. I started with 3.5, but the fabric looked really dense and I didn't like it, so I went up to 3.75, and it wasn't this drapey until I blocked it. So this one is already blocked and it's ready to go. All finished. And this pattern is called Bees and Blooms. Yeah, I quite like it. This is all the yarn that I had available, so couldn't get any longer than this. Either way, I think I'm gonna give this to my mom for Christmas. And yeah, I finished this one in a little bit of a hurry because I needed the 3.75 millimeter needles for another project that I would like to finish before it gets quite cold, because all the projects that I'm working on at this time are mostly summer projects. And let me show you what I am working on. I'm hoping to finish all these by the end of September. Today is August 31st, so tomorrow is September 1st. It is Sunday, and I'm already excited about some fall and winter projects. They're nagging me and want me to cast them on, but I'm trying to stay strong and I want to finish these before I start anything else. And this one is a project that I have done the least on. The Lavender tank top by Jenny Williams. And so the pattern says to start with the I-cord cast on, and I did, but I didn't like it. It took forever. And then it was pretty tight, and I like my borders to be a little bit more to have a little bit of elasticity. So I just did a regular long tail cast on, and I did, I think, 2 or 3 rows of stockinette, and then I did a couple of knit one, purl one stitch, just to avoid in case the bottom curls up a little bit. So the 2 rows in the rib stitch will stop from rolling further than that. Other modifications that I did to this pattern, it is worked in 2 pieces, front and back, and I did circular needles, so I'm working in around, and the little pattern that it's in the front is supposed to be on the sides also, but I didn't want that. I wanted just the one on the front. It looks like a little tulips. This is my first complete stitch pattern repeat, and yeah, the yarn that I'm using, it's the color is discontinued, unfortunately, but it's the Zoe, and it is 60% cotton and 40% linen, and I am using 3.5 millimeter needles. I really, really like the color, and I like the feel also. Maybe I would like it to be a little bit more drapey, so maybe 3.75 millimeter needles, but we'll see. So far, I like it. So that's one. In total, I think I have 4 projects. In total, I have 4 projects that I'm working on right now, and it is quite hard for me to limit myself and how much I can knit, because I have developed a tennis elbow and I should be resting for a bit and let it calm down, but I cannot resist, and I keep picking those projects up. It's for me, knitting or any craft work really very meditating like. I don't know, it keeps me calm and it's very soothing for me. Let me know if you have the same experience. I don't know. And also, I am very finished project driven. So I am excited about all these projects. Finally, using some new yarns that I have recently bought, and not yarns that have been sitting for years in my stash. So I am very excited about that. This is a top. I have worked on this quite a bit, but it's growing very slowly and has tiny little sequins in it. So it has a little bit, catches the light a little. And this is the Odele top by Amy Christoffers. Now I am working the second size, 40 inches bust size, because my bust size is 35, so I'm working with 5 inches of positive ease. I want it to be quite little oversized and very flowy, and I am holding together 2 yarns. One of them is 100% linen from Fibra Nature, and it is the color Robin, I believe, color 09, and I'm holding it together with this wood yarn that has the little sequins in it. Here, just everywhere. And this is 100% lyocell, and it's called Make It Bloomchen, which I do believe it's in German, and it means make it bloom. I don't know. You let me know if I'm right or not. In this are 3.75 millimeter needles. This is gonna take a while. I was sick the last weekend, and I was having a hard time standing on my feet, but as long as I was laying down in bed, it was fine. Decently fine for a week, and I slept a lot. Didn't have much appetite, or didn't really have the energy to make myself any food, so I was laying in bed a lot, and I was knitting a lot, and I did behave myself before I got sick, and my elbow was starting to get better. And then when I got sick, I knitted a lot, and I made it much worse. So I'm trying to limit my knitting to half an hour in the morning and maybe half an hour in the evening before I go to sleep. You know, I should stop completely and just give it a rest, but I'm so excited about these projects, and I want to finish them because I'm starting to get excited about the autumn ones or fall ones. So this is a project that I have worked on the most, and I am absolutely in love with the yarn. It is cotton and silk blend. It is again Fibra Nature, and the yarn is called Papyrus. I have bought 3 balls in a shop here in Colorado, but I knew I wouldn't have enough, so I had to order a couple. I didn't want to go back to the store. It was a long drive, so I risked it, and I bought a couple of balls from Etsy, and when they arrived, the color was quite different. So what I ended up doing is I did 4 rows of the yarn that was darker, and 2 rows of the yarn that was lighter, because I had half as much of the one that it's lighter. That makes sense. I made it really complicated because the pattern that I'm knitting is also quite complicated. So additionally, I added the alternating of the yarn in the middle of all that. I am making the SeedyTop from Cozy Knits. It is a top that it's made top down. It's actually the only pattern that I'm working on that it's made top down, and it is gorgeous. It has quite a few details that I really like the shoulder right here, and then pattern opens, and then I am at the point when I'm going to start making decreases in the front and increases in the back, which will make some of these on the pattern just wrap around the waist. It's hard to explain. It'd be easier to show you once I'm made a little bit more progress, but it looks tiny. I am making this size small, which was putting me, I think, in 1 centimeter. Yeah, 1 centimeter of negative ease. But I'm not 100% sure if my gauge is what the pattern calls for. I don't really do swatches before I start projects. I know, but I don't like to do them. This is 4mm needles, and you really have to pay attention to the pattern because up here I did this part twice. I had to redo it. I will insert a video. I didn't really understand exactly what I was supposed to do, and it didn't look the way it was supposed to. And I kind of thought about leaving it that way, and I kept going for a little bit, and then I set it down and I worked on another project and let it marinate in my mind for a little bit. And then when I picked it up again, I just frocked and the part that was wrong, and I redid it, and I'm glad I did because the pattern details are just very beautiful, and I'm happy that I remade it. And I'm not sure the name of who made this pattern. I'll put it down. It just says Cozy Knits on the pattern, but she's absolute genius. This is very, very thought through and just gorgeous. And I do believe that this is the stitch pattern. It's a broken rib pattern, something like that. Very excited about this one, and I'm close to finishing. And my last project that I am working on, finally, this is why I needed the 3.75mm needles that were occupied by my shawl. And once I finished that, I was able to cast on a cardigan. It's the Yarden cardigan. By Amy Christoffers. And I am using this yarn. It's a modern cotton DK from Morocco. It's actually the same brand as the pattern, but it is a different yarn than the one that they recommend. Anyway, it is worked bottom to top, and it is worked in a round, which I'm really enjoying. I have finished the bottom ribbing. My stitches are kind of dancing. Hopefully that will get better once I block it. And then I also made first stitch pattern repeat right there. It's a 4-row repeat with yarn overs. Yeah. Little purl row, on the right side. There's our 4mm needles. So you start the bottom, the rib stitch at the bottom is worked on 3.75mm needles, and then once you done with that and you're working on the body of the cardigan, you use 4mm needles. So that's it for the projects that I'm working on right now. And now I'll tell you about the ones that are making me excited about the weather changing, and the temperatures are starting to get a little cooler, and weather is coming. I'm excited about that. So I bought both of these yarns in Georgetown when me and my husband went on a trip. They're both from Symphony Knit Pro. They're hand-dyed yarns. I do believe they're from India, both of them. And both of them are, this one is actually 75% merino and 25% silk. And this one is 75% merino and 25% polyamide. I wanted to make socks. Well, I bought this yarn with the plan of making socks out of this, but I made the camisole. I made the camisole number 4 from my favorite knitwear, my favorite things knitwear, and I did it with a yarn that was maybe sports weight yarn. It wasn't fingering weight thickness, but the pattern asked for a fingering weight, and I am hoping that I might be able to make a winter one from this yarn that I can wear under sweaters and under button down shirts, and I'm hoping that this will be enough. Let me know if you have knitted the top, the camisole number 4. I am planning on doing the size small, and let me know if you have done the same, and let me know if 100 grams would be enough. It is 400 meters. I don't know, because Reverly or even the pattern says that you need 500 meters. You need 100 grams of yarn, then it's 250 meters per 50 grams, which would make it 500 meters for the project. But I'm gonna have any yarn left over, or are you using both balls, or I don't know. Do I want to risk it and ending up with another crop top that I'm never gonna wear? I probably will, because I really like this yarn, and the worst thing that can happen, I'll just frog it, or maybe I'll find a yarn that goes well and do a little bit of an rip edge at the bottom with a different color. We'll see, but I do want to try it. And with this yarn, this is a DK weight. Since I have bought it, I have thought about this project. I do not have the pattern yet, but I only have 3 of these, which would be 300 grams. So it's not, I don't think it's enough for a sweater with long sleeves, but it should be enough for a t-shirt, something that has short sleeves. And the one that I have seen that I really like is the sommerknus, I think. Yeah, I want to try that one, and we'll see if I have enough. Yeah, I do believe it's top down. So, and I have a lady in the store in Georgetown. She was really sweet, and I asked her if the three, what are these called? Well, I asked her if 3 of these will be enough for a t-shirt, and she said in my size, most likely, but she was so generous that she gave me a little leftover that she had from her project, so I have a little bit more, and she said that little goes a long way with this yarn, so hopefully I will have enough for that. And yeah, those are my projects that I'm working on at the moment, and the ones that I would like to start soon. At the same time, trying not to overwork my elbow and give it time to heal a little bit. Today is Sunday, and on the Thursday, I'll be flying to Salem, Massachusetts. I'm going on the weekend trip with a few of my girlfriends, and there's a little yarn store that I want to visit. So I'm sure I will buy some more yarn. This time with the winter in mind, and I do have quite a few patterns saved on Ravelry. I definitely want to do a top-down raglan sweater with the shape in the front, and yeah, I am feeling a little bit better. I am still a little weaker and slower, whatnot. I don't even know what kind of crazy thing I had, but where I work, I'm surrounded by germs, so it's kind of a given. And once in a while, I bring something home. Work as a physical therapist assistant with geriatric population in a rehab and long-term care. It's rewarding and it is crazy at the same time. But yeah, and also my small business studio is kind of a mess. There's a lot of things that I need to get done, and a lot of things that are just, I look around and I feel like everything is screaming at me in here. And I have a big market coming up in September, another Batch Fest market in Denver that I need to get ready for. My to-do list up there, it's quite long. So with the trip in the middle and everything, I'm just gonna have to roll up my sleeves and get it done. So thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for your time. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments down below. I'll be happy to help and answer anything I have answer for. And consider subscribing, consider visiting my shop. I will leave the link in the description box with all the patterns that I am working on, and then all the ones that I have mentioned today. And until next time, I hope your life is filled with happiness. Bye.